صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.
The Book of As-Salam, a sale in which the price is paid at once for goods to be delivered later. Chapter on As-Salam, by a definite, known, specified measure. Narrated Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with them, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, came to Al-Madinah, and the people used to pay in advance the price of fruits to be delivered within 1 or 2 years. The sub-narrator is in doubt whether it was 1 to 2 years or 2 to 3 years. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever pays money in advance for dates to be delivered later should pay it for unknown specified weight and measure of the dates." Narrated Ibn Abi Najih, as above, mentioning only known specific measure. Chapter on As-Salam, for a known specified weight. Narrated Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with them, the Prophet, peace be upon him, came to Al-Madinah, and the people used to pay in advance the price of dates to be delivered within 2 or 3 years. He said to them, "Whoever pays in advance the price of a thing to be delivered later should pay it for a known specified measure, at known specified weight, for a known specified time period." Narrated Ibn Abi Najih, as above, saying, he should pay the price in advance for a known specified measure and for a known specified time period. Narrated Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with them, the Prophet, peace be upon him, came to Al-Madinah, and he told the people regarding the payment of money in advance that they should pay it for known specified measure and a known specified weight and known specified time period. Narrated Shu'bah, Muhammad, or Abdullah bin Abu al-Mujalid, said, Abdullah bin Shaddad and Abu Burda differed regarding As-Salam. So they sent me to Ibn Abi Awfa, may Allah be pleased with him, and I asked him about it. He replied, "In the lifetime of Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, Abu Bakr and Umar, we used to pay in advance the prices of wheat, barley, dried grapes, and dates to be delivered later." I also asked Ibn Abza, and he too replied as above. Chapter on As-Salam to a person who has got nothing to pay for the prices he receives in advance. Narrated Muhammad bin al-Mujalid, Abdullah bin Shaddad, and Abu Burda sent me to Abdullah bin Abi Awfa, may Allah be pleased with them, and told me to ask Abdullah whether the people in the lifetime of the Prophet, peace be upon him, used to pay in advance for wheat to be delivered later. Abdullah replied, "We used to pay in advance to the peasants of Sham for wheat, barley, and olive oil, for a known specified measure to be delivered in a known specified time period." I asked him, was the price paid in advance to those who had the things to be delivered later? Abdullah bin Awfa replied, "We did not used to ask them about that." Then they sent me to Abdurrahman bin Abza, and I asked him. He replied, "The companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, used to practice As-Salam in the lifetime of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and we did not use to ask them whether they had standing crops or not." Narrated Muhammad bin Abil Mujalid, as above, Hadith number 2244 and 2245, and said, "We used to pay them in advance for wheat and barley to be delivered later." Narrated Ash-Shaybani, and also for oil. Narrated Ash-Shaybani, who said, "We used to pay in advance for wheat, barley, and dried grapes." Narrated Abu Bukhtar al-Ta'i. I asked Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with them, about As-Salam, for the fruits of date palms. He replied, "The Prophet, peace be upon him, forbade the sale of dates on the trees till they became fit for eating and could be weighed." A man asked what to be weighed, as the dates were still on the trees. Another man sitting beside Ibn Abbas replied, "Till they are cut and stored." Footnote: in some narrations occurs, till they could be estimated, while still on the trees. Narrated Abu al-Bukhari, I heard Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with them, saying that the Prophet, peace be upon him, forbade, etc., as above. Chapter on As-Salam for the fruits of date palms. Narrated Abu al-Bukhari, I asked Ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with them, about As-Salam for the fruits of date palms. He replied, the Prophet, peace be upon him, forbade the sale of dates till their benefit becomes evident and fit for eating, and also the sale of silver for gold on credit. I asked Ibn Abbas about As-Salam for dates, and he replied, the Prophet, peace be upon him, forbade the sale of dates till they were fit for eating and could be estimated. Narrated Abu al-Bukhari, I asked Ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with them, about As-Salam for dates. Ibn Umar replied, the Prophet, peace be upon him, forbade the sale of fruits of date palms until they were fit for eating, and also forbade the sale of silver for gold on credit. I also asked Ibn Abbas about it. Ibn Abbas replied, the Prophet, peace be upon him, forbade the sale of dates till they were fit for eating and could be weighed. I asked him, what is to be weighed, as the dates are on the trees? A man sitting by Ibn Abbas said, it means till they are cut and stored. Chapter on the guarantor in As-Salam. Narrated Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, bought some foodstuff, barley, from a Jew on credit, and mortgaged his iron armor to him. The armor stands for a guarantor. Chapter on mortgaging in As-Salam. Narrated Al-Amash, we argued at Ibrahim's dwelling place about mortgaging in As-Salam. He said, Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, said, the Prophet, peace be upon him, bought some foodstuff from a Jew on credit, and the payment was to be made by a known definite time period, and he mortgaged his iron armor to him. Chapter on As-Salam for a fixed specified period. Ibn Abbas, Abu Sa'id, Al-Aswad, and Al-Hasan permitted it. Ibn Umar said, there is no harm in buying foodstuff to be delivered within a known specified time period, at a known fixed price, provided that it is not standing crops that have not yet become ripe, and free from blights and diseases. Narrated Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with them, the Prophet, peace be upon him, came to Al-Madinah, and the people used to pay in advance the prices of fruits to be delivered within 2 to 3 years. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said to them, buy fruits by paying their prices in advance on the condition that the fruits are to be delivered to you according to a known specified measure, within a known specified time period. Ibn Najih said, by a known specified measure and a known specified weight. Narrated Muhammad bin Abil Mujalid, Abu Burda and Abdullah bin Shaddad sent me to Abdurrahman bin Abza and Abdullah bin Abi Awfa to ask them about the As-Salam. They said, we used to get war booty while we were with Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him. And when the peasants of Sham came to us, we used to pay them in advance for wheat, barley, and oil to be delivered within a known fixed time period. I asked them, did the peasants own standing crops or not? They replied, we never asked them about it. Chapter on As-Salam in buying a she-camel to be delivered after it has given birth. Narrated Abdullah, may Allah be pleased with him, the people used to sell camels on the basis of Habalil Habala. The Prophet, peace be upon him, forbade such sale. Nafir explained Habalil Habala by saying, the she-camel is to be delivered to the buyer after the she-camel gives birth. Footnote: Habalil Habala. There were 2 forms of this trade, called Habalil Habala. The example of first form is that to buy an offspring of an animal which itself is yet to be born by making the payment in advance. Second form is to sell an animal on condition to have the offspring of the sold animal. Both forms of this kind of transaction are prohibited.